Hi, welcome to Gemini Star Spiritual Wellness. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me today. I'm excited that you're here. This is our weekly reading we're doing this morning for the week of June 8th through the 14th. So hard to believe it's coming up to the middle of June already, but this is our weekly reading. And as always, please like and subscribe. When you hit the like button, it will send it out to other people that need to see this video. And if you hit subscribe, you will see future videos that I put out. The next one I plan on putting out is the Intro to Chakras Part 2, and that will be coming out on Tuesday. So thank you again for joining me. And remember, this is a collective reading, so it's meant for everybody who's going to watch this video and has watched the video. So it's a whole group of people, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And you could apply this to your personal life, but I'm going to be looking at it more from like a kind of a global, since I'm thinking of the whole collective on the planet. But you could apply this to your personal life. It might resonate with that as well. So, all right, let's get going. Shuffling the cards. Let's see what the cards have to say for the week of the 8th through the 14th of June, 2025. I like to shuffle well. Take some deep breaths, getting into the mode here. All right, what is going to be the collective energy for the week of June 8th through 14th, 2025? Calling on my spirit guides and archangels to help us out here with this information. All right. Feel like one more. All right, let's see what it says. Kind of anxious because the last couple weeks have been pretty interesting. So let's see where we're at here. All right, so, okay. Two of Wands. Page of Cups. Six of Swords. Okay, Six of Swords, Ten of Cups. Ooh, okay. Ace of Swords, King of Swords. Okay. All right. So, all right. So we've got interesting cards here today. So we are basically looking at our options. So I remember last week I talked about there's information, and I don't always remember the weekly readings, in great detail, but I remember bits and pieces of them. But you can go back and rewatch that video. But yeah, it's like there was information that was missing that we were going to find out or was going to come out. I remember that being part of it. And I feel like right now, this week, we're going to be looking at options, different options that we have. And there is going to be a small, very like baby step, small emotional offer coming in. And it could, and that could, that small offer coming in could, lead us to look at our options. So it could be like that. But we have a small little offer coming in, emotional offer. And I, just small, just like, and I remember like, in the past readings, it was like, I remember it was about money, coming back to us, information, but it's going to be like in small baby steps. And I feel like that's probably still the situation because it's just a small offer. It's not, a big, real big. It's just a little step forward, but, emotional and looking at our options. In the past, we have, it's been kind of rough. We've been in choppy water. It's been intense, but we're leaving that behind. So that was in the past. And we're coming to a point of smoother sailing, smoother waters, not as, choppy. It's going to be easier. We're leaving the rough stuff behind. And we're heading towards this Ten of Cups, which is, look how happy those little people are on the card. They're like, yay, you got all the 10 cups, you got everything you want. You're so happy, look how happy. So that's what we're going towards. And that's the current energy, the 10 of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the two of Wands. So we're leaving behind the choppy stuff, the rough stuff, and heading into our 10 of Cups. And that's what it appears to, is the 10 of Cups. But what's really going behind the scenes, though, is we're making decisions, looking at our options because of this little small emotional offer that's coming in. Moving forward as a collective in the near future, Ace of Swords. So we're going to see a new beginning in truth and thoughts coming out. So what right away, what I'm feeling with this is, in the previous week, we had that information that we didn't know about, information that was missing and kept from us. But I feel like that's going to start coming out. So it could be big disclosures coming out, big information coming out on a global scale, like new beginnings in truth. So lots of truth coming out. And it could be truth of things in your personal life. But I'm thinking on a global level, we'll definitely see some truths coming out, disclosures, things that have been kept from us and hidden. Words and thoughts, truth coming out. So it's no longer going to be hidden. And that could be part of the choppy waters I was talking about, leaving the roughed past behind, moving into that 10 of Cups energy is going to involve truth, which, that's probably why we're looking at our options. Maybe, we're getting ready, looking at our options with that small emotional offer, getting ready for the truth to come out. But I do think the truth is going to come out in the near future, or massive disclosures of truth. So what's interesting is this is our advice from the universe card. All right, so we've got the Death card and we've got the King of Swords. So what I'm feeling intuitively looking at this card. So just so you know, how I read tarot is I definitely go with the meaning of the cards and what's around each card, right, in the placement. But I'm also an intuitive reader, so if I get downloads of hits, while I'm reading, like certain things will come to me in my mind out of the blue, and I know that that's an intuitive hit that I need to follow. But what I'm feeling with, there's definitely going to be endings and new beginnings with this Death card, and it kind of goes with this card, right? Because in the new beginning, we have this new beginning of truth right here, right, and disclosures coming out. But I feel like the Death card represents the transition. So we're transitioning, endings and new beginnings. And the Death card seems, people always think it's scary, but it's not. It's just a transitional card. But what's interesting about the Death card is if you look up here, let's see if I can, there it is. You see that little sun up there? So it's like, yeah, it's a transition, but it's leading to this little sun. The path is leading to the sun. So it's not really a scary card like people might think it is. It just means, endings, new beginnings. And it's like, it's a bright new beginning because you've got the little sun there, see, at the end of the path. So I feel like these truths, these new beginnings, this disclosure is going to help bring in that transition and ending of, like the old systems ending, because when this truth comes out and these disclosures come out, it's going to end old systems, because we're going to realize that those beliefs are outdated, that information is no longer relevant, it's outdated. So it's going to be like this transition into the new, right? So new beginnings of truth, but new systems being developed, transitioning, but it's all going to be for our greater good. It's all going to be for our best as humans, as humankind, and it's going to lead us to this 10 of Cups. I feel like what's coming our way over this year, next year, these changes, these systems ending, it's going to be such we're going to end up living like we've never have before in a good way. Freedom, and it's going to be like the shackles are going to be off of us. It's going to be so freedom, but also the systems are going to be like helping us instead of hindering us. It will no longer be held down in a negative way. We'll be able to live and flourish in happiness and joy. But also with this swords here, King of Swords, I feel like he also he's an air sign, and it's an air sign card, and he also represents truth and that and an archetype of that way. But what I feel with the Death card And I feel it's like a transition of the truths coming out, but it's a transition of, how can I say this? Like the time of masculine domination is over. But what I mean by masculine, I don't mean divine masculine. I mean distorted masculine energy. So you think about it, for thousands of years, basically, masculine energy has run the show on earth and has been in charge and has been in control. But I feel like that's changing. The divine feminine is going to rise, and you're going to see more, divine feminine energy kind of taking hold in the planet. Well, it will no longer be suppressed. And it was suppressed because the dark side was afraid of divine feminine energy because it's very powerful. So they suppressed it, with the systems that were in place and the beliefs that were in place. But that's changing. I feel like that, but it's in truth. It's changing, but it's in truth. So it's kind of like the truth of the feminine energy is coming out. So masculine, so people that are masculine males, they have masculine energy. Here we are. Still can't get used to that camera. They're gonna like get in touch more with their feminine energy, because we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. But the problem is, if you have too much feminine or too much masculine energy and not, it's not balanced within you, it causes a problem. So the distorted masculine energy for centuries has been distorted. It's not been how divine masculine should behave, and it's been not good energy, or not the way it should be. So I feel like the masculine energy is going to start to allow the feminine to emerge within themselves, but also as a collective. You're going to see more divine feminine energy rise around the planet, and no longer be suppressed and be in places of leadership. And it's going to be kind of a rise of divine feminine energy, but within us as well. So your divine feminine within you will rise. So it's kind of like, divine feminine energy, spiritual, it's in touch with our heart chakra. So it's going to allow that masculine energy that was distorted to help to balance out and go from being distorted to not being distorted. But also it's kind of that spiritual awakening, because as you go through the spiritual awakening, those energies will balance out and become, instead of distorted, they will become healthy and healed and go into a divine masculine and feminine energy. But I think that's going to be part of the transition. So it's like that type of energy that has been in charge for years, that distorted masculine energy, is going to start to shift. And that's part of the transition, is the spiritual awakening of people across the planet, and the balancing of the masculine and feminine energy, the distorted energy, masculine energy, changing to divine masculine energy, and then the rise of the feminine, divine feminine energy in this transition period. I feel like the transition period's not going to happen overnight. We're going to have to be patient with it and allow it, but the truths will come out to help with this transition, to help with these changes, of the systems and beliefs. That energy, the divine masculine energy, is going to transition from distorted to divine masculine, the rise of the feminine energy along with it. But it's all going to lead us to this, the Ten of Cups energy. So that's what we're going towards. But it's going to be a huge transition, but we are leaving the rocky waters of the past behind, the rough stuff of the past behind, and going into a much brighter future. But it's going to be intense. Like, I feel like this summer is going to be real intense for disclosures and truth and information to come out that we didn't know about, that was kept from us and hidden. There's going to be a lot. It's going to be an intense summer, I think, with that. Looking at the astrology and then just looking at the readings I've been doing. It's going to be really intense, but we'll get through it. I mean, it might be challenging while we're going through this transitional period, but we are going to be so much better off on the other side when we get through it. So that's what I have for this week. Let me do like a real quick recap, because I know sometimes my thoughts kind of go all over the place. So I'm doing a reading because I'm like I said, I'm kind of getting downloads while I'm doing it. So that's why I kind of jump around a little bit. But let's just start from the beginning here. In the past, we'll do a quick recap. In the past, choppy waters, rough stuff is now behind us. We're leaving that behind, going into more like happy, happy energy, better times ahead, leaving that rough stuff behind. This week, the 8th through the 14th, we're looking at our options. Small emotional offers coming in, and our small, it could be any kind of emotional offers, but small, like just baby steps, small offers coming in. But but all this is going to lead us to the 10. So we're going to be like feeling in the 10 of Cups energy. So it's all leading to the 10 of Cups. And so this week, strong 10 of Cups energy. So basically, what I feel is like looking at our options, maybe after we get that small emotional offer, is going to bring us to the 10 of Cups energy. So that's one way you can look at it. And then in the near future, we've got the Ace of Swords. So it's kind of like, new beginning and truth, thoughts, words, coming out, disclosures coming out in the near future. And it's going to be a new beginning. So it's kind of like this information is going to disprove things that we believed in the past, beliefs, thoughts, the way systems are run. It's going to change everything. And then, like I was saying earlier, about we're in this transition period with leaving the past behind, endings, and then new beginnings coming in. But it's going to be a shift of masculine energy from distorted, as it's been for thousands of years, to a divine masculine energy. But also, while that's transitioning and shifting, the rise of the divine feminine energy. So feminine energy will no longer be distorted, but you'll see a rise of it. So the divine masculine energy will become more balanced and come together. And I think that's going to be partly due to people awakening on the planet, because as more and more people awaken, those energies will become more and more balanced. And I think we'll start to see that. So interesting weekly read. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.